Hello everyone, so this is batch 2. I've used a couple of stencils and some images and I'm pretty happy with the result that I'm gonna show you. So this is a baking sheet I've used. This is tracing paper that strangely has taken on a lot more of the color than the baking sheet. And then you can see some of the accent from this is um plastic lace that I bought in Action and it's really good. Okay, so that didn't really show the net from like potatoes, but there is I mean you can still see the texture, so maybe I'll be able to do something with like inks or pastels or something. Be sure to check out the next video I'm gonna publish, which is probably about how I'm putting on these accents, like to show a little bit more the stencils when they don't show. And yeah, for this batch I have already torn the pages. I thought it would save me the trouble, and sometimes it did work. Sometimes it's a lot darker on the sides and sometimes it just isn't, which is quite strange. And of course afterwards I'm just going to have to, I think this is not fully dried, so I just have to be really careful not to tear the pages. Where what was I saying? Yeah, just making sure not to tear the pages, and then the shredded sides, I thought sometimes it does show, like here it's a lot darker and sometimes it just doesn't. I've used these, so it's a homemade reusable paper roll, and I've just put it in between when it was drying and it did help a lot. So these pages I'm still gonna have to ink because the sides are just not darker. So in my previous video I showed you what I did to get these different what I did to get like these textures and everything. And this is the result. So this is batch 2. I've made 3 different batches. There's a lot of pages. And it just doesn't dry very quickly. I don't want to use the oven. It's not very environmentally friendly. So I've put them outside and it does work a lot better than inside. Especially with the, oh, this is really cool. This is my double page and I'm gonna make a pocket out of this. That's so strange how it just shows on like a little bit and not the whole thing. I'm really happy with these laces. But yeah, it's true. Normal lace doesn't work. You really need to use plastic lace or something. And there are some vintage ones. You can go to the charity shops. I found one last week. And they're pretty interesting. So I'm thinking of doing like a couple more batches, not of blue because I just don't have any more watercolor like the one I used for these. But I was thinking of doing a batch of coffee dyed paper for a future journal. But that's just gonna have to wait for this journal on the sea. It's like a sea themed journal to be finished. After this, I'm gonna show you how I'm going to do batch 3. So batch 3 is with some papers I printed out because I do like it when there's a couple of accents like funky images and stuff on a page. When you make your pages either with PowerPoint, Word, or whatnot, make sure you remove the what's it called, the like the background of the image, because otherwise you might get something that you just don't want, which is like a square around your image. Well, unless you want it, of course. But you know, if your image has a white background and it's on a white paper, sometimes it does come out like gray or brownish or something, and there is ink. And if you're gonna coffee dye it, then you will have more coffee dye on that little square around your image. And it's really, really simple to just remove the background. There's like a little icon. There's like at the top you can just click picture settings, I think, and then on the left there's something about removing the background. It's really simple, and then you just choose which areas you don't want to remove the background from and which ones you do want to remove the background from. So this is what I'm working with when I'm doing batch 3. So you have the inks, they're watercolor, liquid watercolor that I got from Action. And I'm using a big Chinese paintbrush and spray with water and leftover ink from my last batch because I don't want to waste it. So this is batch 1, batch 2, which is a lot lighter, and now we're gonna make batch 3. So I'm just gonna show you, these are the pages I printed out. So they're gonna be, yeah, there was a little problem with the printer, but I'm gonna definitely do something about that. And here, biggest problem, I think I'm gonna make this, so that would be a pocket, and I can't wait to show you and make a video out of this pocket. And this, I'm thinking of making a pocket as well. And then this is another double page from a big A4 book, like a notebook in France. So it's the French squares with 5 lines. They're really cool. I'm gonna make these. So really simple, just spray the page with water. Water is your friend. Lay it on a surface. I like to use this glass chopping board. And then I'm just adding a lot of color. I'm almost out of these blue inks, so I just hope I can finish all these papers before I run out. And then you just lay them one on top of the other. And you repeat the process, water, watercolor. And you don't need to do watercolor on both sides, of course, but you do need to put water on both sides. My paintbrush is such a mess. And I've decided to put a little bit of color here, so we'll see how that looks later on. And I'm just gonna put some baking paper so that the pink I've put just before doesn't go onto the other page. And I'm also hoping that there is quite a lot of color on this baking sheet so that I can also use it to make like pockets or just anything really, even a page, because the pink is going to show. for sure. I do have better brushes, but they're so much bigger they can't go into the ink things. So this is basically what I'm doing. It's a really simple process, a bit repetitive, and this is only a couple of pages, and I'm gonna have to do a lot more for the 8 journals. So that's it, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!